Hello, everybody. Welcome to the lesson on Manasu Nilpa Shakti Lekapote, a kriti in Raga Abhogi composed by none other than Sri Tyaagaraaja Swami. So, we just finished learning Abhogi Varnam, and I thought it would be a good time for us to learn this kriti, which is very beautifully penned, very rich in not just in melody and talam, but also very rich in philosophy, gives us an idea of the state of mind of the composer. And I just want to talk about that a little bit in the prelude, the interpretations, followed by the lesson itself. It's a very small kriti, but has very like an encapsulated idea of Abhogi. So if you've taken the time to learn Abhogi Varnam, this would be sort of an extension of that, like just how the ideas that we learned in the Varnam are being applied here in a Kriti form. And a Kriti form is a sort of, it's different from the Varnam form. The Varnam form has more like ideas encapsulated, but the Kriti is more flowy in that it now has philosophical ideas. It's now a vehicle for the composer to not just talk about the musical ideas, but to talk about something else by using music as a medium. And I think that's what Tyagaraja Swami and the great saint composers in a tradition, they have done. So let's get straight into it. The pallavi is, this is in Telugu. The pallavi is Manasu Nilpa Shakti Lekapote Madhura Ghanta Virula Pujemi Cheyunu Manasu Nilpa Shakti Lekapote. So the overall theme of this song is kind of Tyagaraja Swami questions back and forth. Like he's asking a question of, we are doing a lot of actions and but what if we don't have something called self restraint or self control, or controlling one's mind is one of the most tedious jobs. So he's asking, of what use are all these actions if one is not able to control one's own mind? So that's the overall theme. So the first line, Manasu Nilpa Shakti Lekapote Madhura Ghanta Virula Pujemi Cheyunu. Madhura Ghanta, the sound, sweet sounds of bells, Virula, flowers, Pujemi Cheyunu. What is the use of doing like a ritualistic thing with sweet sounding bells and a lot of flowers if one is not able to control one's mind? Now, we have to understand that this is coming from a person who actually was very devoted to Rama, who was doing a lot of pujas. Now, that person is now saying, like, what is the use of all those actions if one's mind is, not clear, or not very, it's not under one's control, or not pure, or what if we are not putting any effort towards that? Of what use is all these actions? So he's not talking against like doing puja or something, but he's saying doing the action is one thing, but there's also an internal world, right? We have our internal, um, you know anytime we are externally, we can be a ritualistic, we can do all those things, but then if internally we are still like having things like greed, lust, or all, name everything, anger. So that's what he's talking about. So the action would not mean anything if it's devoid of the internal compass, the internal clarity, which kind of acts as a substratum for the action to talk for itself. So, Manasu Nilpa Shakti Lekapote Madhura Ghanta Virula Pujemi Cheyunu Manasu Nilpa Shakti Lekapote. Manasu Nilpa Shakti Lekapote, what is the point? So that's the questioning in the beginning of the pallavi. Now the anupallavi, Ghana Durmadudai ta munigite, Ghana Durmadudai, which is like the arrogant, somebody that's not in their mind, out of their minds. It's like not thinking good. Ghana Durmadudai ta munigite. Munigite is they are taking a dip. Where, next line, Kaveri Mandakini Yetu Brochunu. Kaveri, Mandakini is river Ganga, Kaveri is river Kaveri, and these are holy rivers, right, in our culture. And why do people go there to take a dip? Because we do have our belief systems, which these are holy rivers, which when we go there, and they are like they take our sins, or they take they purify us in a way. And that is what, you know the river is probably just a metaphor for, we also call people who are pure, like saints, as tirtha, like Narayana Tirtha. Why do we have Tirtha there? Because they are like water, and water has this quality of purifying anything that it comes in contact with. Imagine a life without water. So, what it's that quality of water that has the water that purifies everything. And now he's saying, Ghana Durmadudai ta munigite, a person who's very arrogant and is not thinking straight and full of themselves, or if that person goes and if they take a dip in Kaveri or Ganga, like externally, yeah, they'll be purified, their body will be purified, but will the holy rivers be able to save somebody? Kaveri, Ganga, Kaveri, Mandakini, Yetu Brochuno. How will they save? How will they protect a person who's internally not clean? Right? So the purification of mind is what he's talking about. So he's saying, no matter where you go, no matter how much you try to purify yourself externally by taking a dip here and doing all that, if the internal world, if your internal self is not looked upon, or cleansed on a regular basis, of what use is all that? So he's questioning the practice of just being ritualistic. Look how a person who, sometimes when we think about Tyaagaraaja Swami, he's with his Tanpura, and he looks like a very traditional person, and then he's just doing his puja to Rama. But this composition helps us understand that he was a person who's not very conservative, like in terms of, like, he's questioning the rituals, which is devoid of not stemming from love. So he was radically thinking about all these things. So this gives us a clue of his state of mind. So Ghana Durmadudai ta munigite, Kaveri Mandakini Yetu Brochuno Manasu Nilpa Shakti Lekapote. How are these holy rivers going to protect you? That's what he's asking us. Then charanam, Somi Dhamma Sogasugandra Korite Somayaji Swargarhudavno. Now, the literal translation of this sentence is, he's saying Somi Dhamma, Somayaji is somebody that performs the Soma Yaga. It's they are a priest, somebody that actually does a specific kind of a ritual, which is called a Soma Yaga. And the Somi Dhamma is like the wife of this particular Somayaji that he's taking as an example. So Somi Dhamma Sogasugandra Korite, if the wife of such a person who's performing a ritual, or a sacrificial ritual or something, if the wife of such a person is seeking comforts, will the Somayaji ever, will his action ever achieve fruition? Like, will he be able to give that Arghya Pradana, or the ritual, will his ritual be, will it lead to fruition? That's the question. So now, this is an example Tyagaraja is quoting from the times that he lived in. He's talking about this specific example. Now, we can think about this example as something, look how Tyagaraja is probably talking, maybe he's talking less of women, or I don't know. There are so many different ways to think about this. But I guess with all these things, there's an inner metaphor that he's referring to. And it is very important to understand the essence of the example that he's giving, and not get carried away by the words itself. What is he trying to convey through that example? It's not even about the man, woman, or who is seeking. No, it's not about that. But it's about, he's trying to say something deeper there. So he's saying, so in our culture, or at least, especially for a somayaga, or like for any sort of Vedic ritual or something, right? Like it's always considered like, the women, the man and the woman, they have to be aligned on the same page. The couple, they have to be aligned on the same page for any ritual to go smoothly, and because the wife has a greater role to play in the Argya Pradana and all those things. So that's where he's coming from. So he's saying, if the wife of this particular Somayaji or whoever is doing the ritual, if they are not aligned with the vision is, a person who's doing the ritual should be clean, should not be greedy, or, they have all those things. Now, this person's wife, supposedly, if that's a person who's very materialistic, or they are seeking a lot of luxuries, or like, it's not going to gel well. So, the essence of the matter is, he's talking about partnership. Like we can take an example from our times. Let's forget about this example. Let's come to an example from our times. So let's say you are a person who has a vision that you want to do something good for underprivileged children, and you're starting an NGO, right? And let's say you you started this with a, you made a partnership with somebody, and this person is now, is more about taking money from the company than actually contributing to the cause. Will such a partnership ever lead to fruition of your vision? No, it's not possible. So people, when a partnership can achieve fruition, is when both of the people that's working there have an alignment of where they are going. So if one person is like working for this cause of this NGO, and the other person who's supposedly a partner in this is like, taking money away from the company, or they're not even considered about, they're not invested in the cause, that partnership is going to fail. It's not going to lead you anywhere. So that is what he's talking about, the essence. It's not about that Somayaji, Somidamma, it's just an example. The essence of the matter is, and it can also refer to more deeper meanings, can also refer to action and thought and action. So if internally there's something else going on, we are not aligned with a certain belief or an ideology, and then externally we are doing some action which is not even connected to what we are thinking, then there's a tension there. We are not in alignment. The thought and speech, the thought and action is not in alignment. So the example here is a metaphor for a deeper understanding of deeper thing of the overall theme that he's talking about. The theme is, if we are not able to control our own mind, if you're not able to control our inner world, the way we think about things, the way we are working with our own the dark forces or whatever within ourselves, externally purifying things or externally doing actions is not going to change things. And in light of that bigger theme, the Somidamma, the Somayaji, that's an example where he's saying, if one person is like doing things, to attain moksha, or to for a certain cause, and the other person is like completely contrary to that partnership will not work. So action, mind, thought, speech, everything should be aligned with what you believe in, and without that nothing can be achieved. Nothing will come to fruition. That's what he's saying here. Next line. Kama krodhudu tapam punarchite, kama krodhudu tapam punarchite, tapambu onarchite, kachi rakshinchino Tyaagaraaja nuta. So kama krodhudu, somebody that has desire, somebody that's invested by desires and anger, and we all are we all have all these things. We are human beings. We are bound to have, um, the six demons, like a lust, anger, greed, jealousy. We all are invested by these dark forces within us. So kama krodudu tapambo narchite. If a person with that, without the understanding, is doing tapam, they are doing penance and stuff. Will it ever achieve fruition? No. Kachi rakshinchano. Will the penance ever achieve fruition and help them? No, it's not the case, because if a person is externally just saying, oh, you know what, I'm meditating, I'm like doing all these things, but then they are not even like paying attention to what's going on internally, and what am I feeling, and how am I feeling about things, how am I coming across, how the relationships are in my life. Like, if we are not analyzing these things, but if we say we are just meditating, so Tyaagaraaja is saying it's not going to yield results. It's kachi rakshinch. No, it's not going to protect you. It's not going to yield results. So I guess the overall theme, the philosophical theme here is that lot of we do a lot of actions, but are those actions guided by thoughts and lifestyle which align with that, with what we project externally? So that's what he is talking about here. And I think with this understanding, now singing this will have a different effect, in that this composition is about questioning, not to somebody else. This is a questioning to oneself, like, what am I doing here? I'm supposedly doing, like, I'm meditating or I'm doing this, but then I have so many things inside me which I don't even know. I mean, sometimes we all think to ourselves, right? Like, we behave in ways that's like, where did that come from? We are surprised by ourselves. We can't even understand ourselves. So, that's the mystery of life, and that's what he's talking about, the constant contemplation of understanding oneself, controlling one's own mind. That's more important than externally engaging in activities just for the namesake. So that's what he's talking about. This is, my interpretation of this. So take it with a pinch of salt, and let's get into the music now. So with Abhogi, let's get started with the Arohanam Avarohanam, and I'll also post the notation so you can learn it. You can look into it as you learn this. This is an Adi Talam. It's a very small kriti. Sari ga ma da sa da ma ga ri sa. Manasu Nilpa, Shakti leka pote rigamada pote manasu nilpa Manasu Shakti leka pote Manasu Nilpa Magagarisa Nilpa. So I hope you're looking into the notation, but try to just learn it orally. Manasu nilpa shakti leka pote manasu nilpa shakti leka pote manasu nilpa shakti leka pote manasu nilpa shakti leka pote. So to go to the next line, you stop in that ma. Re sa da sa ri ga ma pote manasu nilpa shakti leka pote madhura ghanta virula madhura ghanta virula pooje mi madasa dasa pooje mi seyonu manasu. So this is a very beautiful part, and this will keep repeating, and this is where the questioning bhava is coming. Like when he says pooje mi say, there's a big question, what use is all this if you don't control your mind? So the questioning bhava comes when madhura ghanta virula pooje mi seyonu se dasari sari manasu gari re sad. So that say, with your voice you have to give the bhavam there. Like that sari maga, you have to increase the intensity of the voice, the volume. See, there's so much emotion we can show even by decreasing or increasing the volume. Like how, why do we sometimes increase our volume when we are talking? Like we are talking about something with passion, or we are a little angry or something, the voice automatically goes up. It's because we are trying to make a point, we are trying to say something with a lot of emotion, right? So it's the same concept here. Madhura ghanta virula pooje mi seyonu manasu nilpa shakti leka pote madhura ghanta virula pooje mi seyonu manasu nilpa shakti leka pote. That's the pallavi. It's a very small. Don't worry about sangatis and all these things. The sangati is it came probably from a need to emote more, but the emotion here is like the questioning itself. So the focus should be on the bhavam of the composer, right? So let's put this into talam and see. Manasu nilpa shakti leka pote manasu nilpa shakti leka pote manasu nilpa shakti leka pote madhura ghanta virula pooje mi seyonu manasu nilpa shakti leka pote madhura ghanta virula ಪೂಜೆಮಿ ಸೇಯುನು ಮನಸ್ಸು ನಿಲ್ಪ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಲೇಕ ಪೋತೆ. Right? So beautiful. And when you're singing that Madhura Ghanta, it means sweet sounds of the bells, and so you have to visualize Madhura Ghanta, Madhura Ghanta. It's so sweet. But all these sweetness, is it worth it if the mind is not pure? That's the questioning. So always having the bhavam of the composer as central whenever you're singing will help you to to find your own connection to Sri Tyaagaraaja and the idea behind what he has written. Okay, so that was the pallavi. Anupallavi. Ghanadur dasada Ghanadur madudai. Now that madudai, madudai, we saw how that dasadama was a very important phrase in Abhogi. It came like almost 4 or 5 times in the Varnam. Dasadama, that's very important. Ganadur madudaita munigite. Ganadur madudaita munigite. Ganadur. So you're talking about somebody he's saying Ghana Durmadudai ta munigite. Ghana Durmadudu is like somebody that's very arrogant. So how do you give that bhavam? Ghana Durmadudai ta. Somebody that's forceful, that's saying this is what I am, and this is who I am. And so you have to give that force there. You're talking about that sort of a personality, and he's then saying Kaveri Mandakini, how can they protect? So that's the bhavam here. Ganadur madudaita munigite. Ganadur madudaita munigite. Ganadur. You're now building the sangati. This is the third sangati, but you're building the idea of the arrogance there. First it was Ganadur madudai, then Ganadur madudai, and third Ganadur madudai ta munigite. Transition to next line. Munigite Kaveri Mandakini Yetu Brochono. See, he's using the sadhara, the Gandharam. The intensity is very less here, because this is like you're questioning deeply. How can they protect? How can the holy rivers protect? So Kaveri Mandakini Yetu Brochono. Ganadur madudaita munigite. Kaveri Mandakini Yetu Brochono. Yetu Sari Sari Gari Gari Gaman. See, there's such complex usage of that ga. एटु ब्रोचुनु घन दूर मधुडैता मुनिगिते कावेरी मंदाकिनी एटु ब्रोचुनु मनसु निल्पा. So when you finally come back to Manasu Nilpa, that etu brochuno has to be at an all-time high intensity. Sari maga. Etu brochuno manasu. Question, big question. How will they protect? Etu brochuno manasu nilpa shakti lekapote. Let's do the anupallavi. घन दूर मधुडैता मुनिगिते 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 कावेरी मंदाकिनी एटु ब्रोचुनु घन दूर मधुडैता मुनिगिते कावेरी मंदाकिनी एटु ब्रोचुनु मनसु निल्पा शक्ति लेकपोते मधुर घंट विरुल पूजेमि सेयुनु मनसु निल्पा शक्ति लेकपोते. शक्ति लेकपोते. Okay, so that finishes our anupallavi. Now charanam. Somidam madama. So there's a swaraksharam thing there. Somidam soga sugandra korite. Soga sugandra korite. Somayaji riga magari sadasa. Somayaji swargarhudauno. It's a question. Will the Somayaji ever achieve what he is meant to achieve if he has a partner who's not aligned with him? That's the example. Somidam soga sugandra korite. Korite. Korite means somebody that's asking. Korike. Right? You know, somebody that's looking forward to these things. So, Somidam soga sugandra korite garisa. Somayaji swargarhudauno. Somidam. Okay. Somidam soga sugandra कोरिते सोमयाजी स्वर्गार्हूडौनो. So see, when you go to the automatically it's like questioning. Swargarhudauno somidam soga sogandra. So this is a little variation you can do. Why the variation is needed? Because he's talking about sogasu. He's like luxury, right? The context is the partner is seeking more luxury on materialistic things. So how can you convey that in your voice? So somidam soga sogandra, and using voice to modulate. Soga sogandra korite सोमयाजी स्वर्गार्हूडौनो सोमिदं सोगसोगान्द्र कोरिते सोमयाजी स्वर्गार्हूडौनो कामक्रोधुडु तपं पुनर्चिते. See, that sa is very important because he's talking about tapam, penance, right? And what better note can you think for meditating other than sa? Kamakrodudu tapam punarchite kamakro. See, that sa is used as like it's a place of rest. It's like you're meditating. And then suddenly when you're meditating, all these kama, krodha and all these people, they come to disturb you. Kama, krodudu tapam ponarchite kama, krodudu tapam ponarchite kama, krodudu tapam ponarchite kama, krodudu tapam ponarchite kama, krodudu. So you're showing the krodham now, right? How these sangatis are useful to bring out that emotion. So you can enhance your volume there because you're trying to show that anger. Kama krodhudu tapam punarchite. Kama krodhudu tapam punarchite. Kachi rakshinchono. So there's a recording of Sri M.D. Ramanathan. I'll attach the link here. So that's something that you can listen. So when he sings this place, Kachi Rakshinchano, there's actually a questioning. Like, will it ever yield result if such a person is doing penance who has so much anger and, all these things inside their heart? That meditation is not going to yield anything. So that's a questioning there. Kama krodudu tapam ponarchite kachi rakshinchono Tyaagaraaja kama krodudu. The Tyaagaraaja is completely, it has such interplay of the Re and Ga. Tyaagaraaja kama krodudu tapam ponarchite kachi rakshinchono Tyaagaraaja Manasu Nilpa shakti leka Okay, so let's sing the last two lines. Kama krodhudu tapam ponerchite, 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 kachi rakshinchuno Tyaagaraajanota, kama krodhudu tapam ponerchite, kachi rakshinchuno Tyaagaraajanota, Manasu Nilpa shakti lekapothe, madhura ghanta virula pooje-mi seyonu, Manasu Nilpa shakti lekapothe. Manasu Nilpa shakti lekapothe, shakti lekapothe. Okay, so that finishes the kriti. So in this video, I hope you got to learn about the kriti and how it goes and everything. So I'll make a subsequent video where I'll sing the whole kriti without interruption, and then I'll also try to do some improvisational aspects like Neraval or something that I feel like doing on the kriti. So that can also give you like an idea of how we can improvise on this. And so the base structure is this. So I hope this was useful to you all. Thank you so much.